talk about your Jasmine. And the reason that I want to go over this move is I feel very passionately that this is one of the most important moves you learn as a beginner polar. And depending upon, there's a lot of definitions for what's beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So depending upon how your studio kind of sets those levels up, I feel like it's very helpful as an intermediate polar as well when you're just getting started. So as a beginner, Jasmine is going to open you up to a lot of moves that you aren't able to do otherwise. It's a wide variety of moves, and it starts to put you in that position of being able to do combinations and things like that. When you get a little more advanced and you're wanting to do longer combinations that take up more of the pole, your Jasmine is going to help you to aerial invert before you know how to aerial invert. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over some basic tips on your contact points. And then for those of you who are starting to go into Jasmine a little higher up, I'll give you one tip on getting into that as well from a basic climb. So starting off, when we're going to set up for our Jasmine, there are a few things that I see go wrong with very beginner polars. And we're going to start with the knees because that's a really big one. Your inside knee, the one closest to the pole, should be facing at a diagonal up towards the ceiling. It should not be facing towards the floor. And a lot of times I see this depending upon like your hip flexibility, right? If you just go to grab the pole, you're going to end up here. Now you have no grip from this position. Or I've seen people try to grip, right? So maybe they're thinking about some of the spins they learned a little earlier on, and they tilt their knee down to the ground. You will not be able to get in Jasmine from this position. You want to have this grip here where your knee's facing up. So one of the ways that you can go into this grip, if you're kind of struggling on where the knee placement is, I'm going to give myself a little bit of distance from the pole. I'm going to take my leg that's inside up and around and actually drop my hips forward first. So I take this leg around, I drop my hips forward, hook my knee, and then set myself back up. Now, I have not only gripped at the knee, but I have added an extra bit of grip by twisting that leg back up into that position. I should feel a lot of grip on the back of my knee pit. Now, bottom leg. When we're going into Jasmine, especially if we're doing it from the floor, a big mistake we make is hitting our knee on the pole or trying to get very close to the knee. When you set your bottom leg up, it should really be like above halfway up your thigh. Now, getting that far up might be a little bit difficult. It might take some practice, but look, I want you to remember this right now. Pull may hurt, but pull should not injure you. And there are a lot of times when I see people trying moves and they hit that knee. And look, you don't want to swell your knee up and you don't want to take your knee out, okay? So if you're doing something like that and you notice that you're hitting straight on the front of your knee, I can almost always promise you that you're not doing something quite at the right spot. So when I go into this and I put that back leg on the pole, I want to get right up here on my thigh. And just so you know, some of the moves that you do from Jasmine will take you way up, like bikini line on your thigh. Like if you're going into Superman, you want to drop all the way there because that's going to help you flip over. We'll do another video on that. Now, once I have my legs set up, I want to make sure that my top hand is thumb up, my bottom hand is thumb down. My top hand is going to pull on the pole. My bottom hand is going to push on the pole. So I'm going to get that far and show you some placement. I hook my knee. Now, before I put the bottom of my body on, I'm going to notice that this top hand is not way up high. If you're up here, you're never going to be able to sink down into your Jasmine because you're going to be stuck, like you can't go anywhere. So this is going to be about a foot from my leg, and you can drop it a little bit at a time. You can start a little higher, but that's going to benefit you. You're going to feel like this is really awkward at first, but it's going to be okay. My bottom hand, I like to use my pointer finger pointing straight down to help me maintain that balance. If I have my hand off to the side, I tend to slip. So I use that pointer finger pointing straight down as I hold the pole to help me balance. Now, once I'm pulling here and I'm pushing here, and I should have like 1.5 feet or so between here, maybe close to 2 feet, right? That's going to help me counterbalance to actually bring that foot up. So I'm pulling with the top arm, pushing with the bottom arm, maintaining my knee grip, and then I can just slide this back and push that bottom leg on the pole. Also, if you're holding this as a chest out so you're not rounding in like this. That is your Jasmine. Now, and once you get there, you're going to be able to start working on removing a leg at a time to be able to use that to go into other tricks. Okay, last little bit of a tip. If you're climbing and you're trying to invert with your Jasmine, going from a Jasmine to an outside leg hang, or however you want to do it. If you're going to pencil into your Jasmine, when you're in your pencil, turn towards your arm, not away from it, so you don't feel like you're going to fall off the pole. So if I'm going into my pencil here, and I come up, I want to pencil towards the camera, so I had to cheat there a little bit. So when I'm going to pencil, I want to turn towards my leg to hook into that Jasmine instead of turning away. And then from here, I'm actually able to outside leg hang as well. So that's your Jasmine. I hope that helps you. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And if you have anything that you want me to go over more, don't hesitate to reach out for that as well. I hope you have a great day.